What is up guys, Greedy Knight here with a video on the switch skills for Charge Blade. We only have 3 revealed at the moment, but we have more than enough information to discuss each one in depth. So let's talk about it. Charge Blade had 3 switch skills revealed in the livestream event: Condensed Spinning Slash, Counter Morph, and Axe Hopper. They can only be switched with Condensed Element Slash, Morph Slash, and Counter Peak Performance respectively. Advancing Morph as of releasing this video does not have a switch skill, so I won't mention my thoughts or speculations about its switch skill pairings in this video. Condensed Spinning Slash is Savage Axe with the guard point removed. It has the same limitations and activation requirements as Condensed Element Slash, so it is neither safe nor as fast as Iceborne's version of the Spinning Axe. It will likely be the meta pick for Charge Blade users in the endgame. However, I would consider this a nerfed version of Savage Axe in the sense that it is way more punishable than the original. Having no guard point means you can get hit out of it with no real way of staying safe outside of using counter peak performance. That being said, the optimal Savage Axe imitation is to use this skill with counter peak. The first thing I want to know is the set of interactions it has with Advancing Morph and counter peak. Will Advancing Morph disengage Condensed Spinning Slash? Can you instantly charge it out of counter peak just like with Condensed Element Slash? These will be the first thing I test once the game drops, but I think that these skills will synergize well with it and let us manage the Spinning Axe much easier. Counter Morph is Diet Counter Peak. You get lengthier guard point animations and what I assume is stronger guarding capabilities, while your super inputs increase in damage. For less experienced users, this one is used for certain matchups because you can't afford to use the slower guard points for fast monsters with multi-hits like Rajang. Morph Slash will still have its place when learning Charge Blade, but Counter Morph will likely become the meta due to increasing the damage of your supers and improving your safety in general once you master the altered timing. Axe Hopper costs 1 Wirebug, which is pretty wild. I thought it would cost 2, but I'm not complaining. Based on the description, there are 2 inputs. Press A to perform an AED, and press X plus A for a super, assuming you have Red Shield Charge, which is the identical setup for Aerial Charge Blade in Monster Hunter GU. It's a reworked version of Aerial Super Slams. So, for those of us coming from Monster Hunter GU, Aerial style lives on in Axe Hopper. The only reasons to run this Silkbind is because it does an insane amount of riding damage, and it can swat flying wyverns out of the sky. Counter Peak and Advancing Morph both output pitiful amounts of riding damage, so using this Silkbind will be specific for monsters you want to swat to the ground and ride them into the wall for free damage. The ability to answer the flying wyvern matchup is always welcome, but I would use this with any matchup where you don't benefit from counters. I honestly hate fighting Rathalos or any flying wyverns without flash bombs, so I'll be taking this Silkbind with every I have the high ground monster. Counter Peak Performance and Condensed Spinning Slash are enough to rival Iceborne's iteration of Charge Blade. Factoring in Counter Morph and Axe Hopper, this is the strongest Charge Blade has ever been, at least from a mechanical point of view. You have maximum damage and safety with mastery of the various switch skills, raising the already high skill ceiling of Charge Blade. Advancing Morph closes distances when facing monsters that dart around the map, making Rajang and similar matchups more bearable. Outside of new monsters we have yet to fight, all returning monsters now have a favorable matchup for this weapon. Like with Iceborne, element Charge Blades get the most out of Condensed Spinning Slash. Having element damage applied on every Spinning Axe multi-hit causes your damage to skyrocket. Element will be meta in this game again because of this, but that is a late game mode of play due to requiring one of each element Charge Blade. Until then, using Condensed Element Slash with Impact is a better lineup due to applying PHIAL damage to sword and shield attacks and the combo being good for every matchup regardless of resistances. I'm of the opinion that you should be able to use both Savage Axe and Super Spam if you dare call yourself a Charge Blade main. Both have their uses, but Savage Axe requires you to have optimal element PHIAL setups to outperform Impact PHIAL. Counter Morph is just a buff version of Morph Slash. Yes, it may be slower, but think of it like the Adept Parry from Monster Hunter GU. It will take adjustment to master the timing, but it is a stronger version of Morph Slash and it will increase your overall damage output. As for Silkbind's, Counter Peak is too good to pass up on. Unless the monster you are facing shoots projectiles frequently or stays out of range of a super, then you should stick with Counter Peak. With that in mind, Axe Hopper is useful for those unfavorable matchups, making those hunts that much easier. With switch skills, you can cover any unfavorable matchup simply by switching skills. Like if you enjoyed the video, or if it gave you some insight on the switch skills for Charge Blade. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Comment down below if you want me to cover the other switch skills in another video. I personally want to give my guesses for the unrevealed switch skills for Charge Blade, but with Rise so close to being released, I'll just wait for the full game before talking about them on the channel. Anyways, that's all I have for this one. Greedy Knight, signing out.